was gonna go live, but I am 4 subscribers short of being able to go live on YouTube. So I am here today. Goodness, we can't be having that. I'm here today to talk about mainly the last year of my life, but I kind of need to summarize the last few years of my life that led up to last year. And so in 2019, let's see, hold on, just let me do my math real quick. So yeah, I ended a 14-year relationship. I wasn't happy. I was underweight, and I needed change. I was depressed, like I didn't want to do anything. Kind of contemplating, what's the point? So I tried to shake things up in my life, and I ended up pregnant while still living with my ex. Pregnant by somebody else. Unintentional, but a fact. I apologize more than once, but I think it really broke him, me being pregnant and everything. Even though he said he didn't want any more kids, I just think it really, really, really bothered him. But instead of talking about it, he set out for revenge on me. I was already in the process of moving out and everything. I just should have waited to deal with anybody else until I had like a fresh start. Really, until I sat by myself for a minute and did like some self-healing work and just, became a better person after being in a relationship for 14 years. I mean, I've been in that since I was 21. So, I mean, really 20. I got married when I was 21. But that's a whole nother. I'm not married anymore. I've been divorced for years. Anywho, that's off subject. Right before I got the key to my new place. Matter of fact, it was the same day. An 8-day eviction notice was put on the door in October of 2019. And it said that I had 8 days to have all my stuff moved out, or, like actions and stuff would be taken against me. Okay. I had just got my new key, so I slowly but surely, with my 5-month heavily pregnant ass, started moving all of my things and my 2 kids' things. I can't lie, I'm still shocked that he tried to see me pregnant, homeless, with 2 kids. Like, so you just gonna leave and you just gonna leave them? Like, what if I didn't have a place? You had no idea what I had going on. What the fuck did they do to deserve for you to just abandon them like that? Like, so that was, I don't know, that knife hurt. Because it was intentional. I know I hurt him, but nothing that I did was intentional to try to make him feel like shit. I didn't do anything intentionally. Like, it just happened. Like, fuck, I'm sorry, my bad. Accept my apology. I'm not sorry. Forgive me, my bad. There's nothing more I can do but apologize and have better behavior. Like, there's nothing else I can do. So that happened. I moved. I'm in my new place. I have the baby. And I did that by myself. Pregnancy and everything. It was one of the saddest times. I don't think I've ever cried that much in my life. Almost every day. Just fucking sad. Because who wants to be pregnant by themselves? Like, it's not fun. Fuck, it's not fun. Anyway, moving on, because I'm not finna cry. Not about that anyway. It's a long time ago. Everything was cool. I had the baby. I kept my weight. I was looking good. Like, even I was impressed with my after baby body. Plenty of pictures. I have them. They're posted all over the place. Instagram, Facebook, somewhere, you know. But I was like thoroughly happy. I had came across The Secret in January of 2020. And that changed my life. And so I started with I have to be positive. And I was new to it, so it wasn't necessarily easy. And I still got pulled in. And I still spoke a lot of negativity over my life. And by the end of 2020, just continuing to speak the negativity with the fucking apartment manager, I ended up getting evicted out of my apartment right after Christmas because the judge said he didn't want to put me and my kids out before. Mind you, this is still, 7 months in on Rona? Well, no, maybe like 9? Yeah, about 9. 8, 9. Because that started in March. Same time the baby was born. Actually, she was born 2 weeks before they shut everything down out here in Arkansas. So, and at the time, so I got evicted and both of my children's fathers knew. My ex, however, was like, oh, there's nothing I can do. And I ultimately found out that there was nothing that he could do because he had been lying to me. And he had somebody living with him. But I didn't know that. But, so, there was that. I never asked either one of them for help, but my thing is if we have kids together and I fall on a situation like that, or even if you fell in a situation like that, I shouldn't have to ask you for help. Like, you shouldn't have to ask me for help. How come co-parents can't want the best for each other? Like, that shit really blows me. It blows me. It bothers me. It sucks that the world is like this, because what about the kids? Like, it's like, fuck. Men are always so quick to want to say that women just don't want to share and we're so unfair, but y'all niggas are the same. Y'all don't want to meet the new boyfriend, the new baby father, the new husband. And why? Y'all not together no more. She not finna be with you no more. So what's the problem? I don't understand. Get out your motherfucking feelings. Same with females. You're not finna be with them no more. So you don't think that somebody new is eventually going to show up? I mean, I would hope that you would pick somebody that would be great to be another co-parent, step-parent, member of the village. Takes a village. But everybody want to be pissed that they moved on. Y'all are not together no more. So you don't like to fuck. You don't want some new dick. You don't want some new pussy. Like, it doesn't. I don't understand. I don't understand the hate, the animosity, the being pissed. People lie. People do shitty stuff. It happens. But I don't understand why we can't sit down and be real adults. And I'm talking about be with people who are a good age to be a goddamn adult. Because looking back, oh man, I really wish I had waited till I was like 25 to be an adult. Like a real adult. Not 19, 25, 26, 27, 28. Waited till about then. And then got into like a heavy long-term relationship, possibly marriage and having kids, and yep. But of course, my experience taught me what I know. It made me who I am. Cool. All of us don't get along, but my youngest, her dad, when I guess I want to say I had like maybe 3 or 4 days left before I had to be out of the apartment. He was like, you can move your stuff to my house and y'all can come stay with me. And kind of like, because we were on the way back from a visit, actually. Took the baby to see her grandma. And I was like, you sure? Like, okay. So we did that and moved in down there. Now me, because I didn't ask, and because I felt like I was imposing, which I shouldn't have, because nigga, I got a whole baby by you. If she or I need a place to stay, we should have it. Because this is your baby too, that I do everything for. Yeah, everything. But I felt obligated to give up some buns. And then he kept, he was pressuring me for it. He kept asking, and I don't know, I was like, oh, well, we are staying here. But I don't really want to. But how do you say that? And not seem ungrateful to these niggas? How do you say that? Like, I'm so thankful you let us stay here, but I don't want to fuck you. I'm, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Because, like I said, can there ne'er a nigga, ne'er a bitch alive shame me? It is what it is. I am who I am. It happened how it happened. So, I only gave it up when asked, and sometimes I like pushed it off. And I always had to take 3 or 4 shots first. It was not something I could do sober because I didn't want to do it. So that's going on, and it's making me miserable because I'm here. And no, I hadn't been working. I hadn't been working since I had the baby. Had the baby in March of 2020, March 1st, actually. And I moved into his house December 29th, 2020. So I was cleaning, I was cooking, I was even doing his laundry for him. And mostly because I felt bad watching him work 14, 15, 16-hour days, back to back. I had kind of heard about it a little bit, throughout the year because when Rona hit and they shut everything down, the only way you could do anything, the only way you could get anything was through mail service. UPS is a major mail service. And you're a big manager up there, so your ass has to go to work. All right? No, I'm sick. I'm not coming. So now, those things I didn't feel bad for doing them. What irritated me was you're just gonna be a nasty asshole after the fact. Kitchen is spotless, and you come in and make whatever you make and leave dirty knives, breadcrumbs, mayo, tomatoes. And I'm talking about the tomato is just out on the counter, mess everywhere. And I have video of this because it pissed me off, and I put it on my Snapchat. Very good for that. My Snapchat family, they get a lot of stories that no one would otherwise hear. But if you don't watch my Snap, you wouldn't know. But I got some cool peeps on Snap, and yeah, I have video of that. Ocular proof that he a trifling ass nigga. Because who does that? How do you see me finish cleaning the kitchen, make a huge ass mess, and just walk off and leave it like you got a motherfucking maid? Bitch, I'm not your maid. I have 3 children, and you're not about to be my 4th. Hell, our baby ain't even 1, nigga. Oh, pissed. Oh yeah, I'm not the type of person, because for me it's like you taking my kindness for weakness, and you don't get to do that, and it's just okay. So after a few incidences, I finally said something. And that fat bastard had the audacity to say to me, well, this is my house, and if you don't like it, you can leave. Oh. That's what we're on? Oh, okay. So we have all these different things going on. Between the two of them, it was just entirely too much. And I was on a live on Instagram one day, and I came across a lady, Auntie Tanya. And she is a spiritual coach who works with women. And I don't know, when I saw her, it was just something in me. I felt it in my soul, and I was just like, I gotta work with her. So I got with her and did a consultation, which led to me doing a 30-day spiritual journey, which really, really, really changed my life. And it's how I ended up in the shelter. That 30-day experience, that was May 3rd, 2021 was my first session. And I want to say like maybe a week into doing my sessions 3 times a week, an hour each time. I set up a boundary for myself, and I stopped having sex. And initially, yes, I did. When I initially said something, I said, I'm doing a spiritual journey, and I want to abstain and be abstinent while I go through this 30-day healing journey. I don't want any, like outside influences, and I don't want to do it no fucking way. I don't want to do it. And he said, okay. So at first he was cool. He was still bothering me. He was still sending text messages. And I can definitely pull those text messages up. Try me not, bitch. I'm not going to say what you said, but you were definitely begging. And you were definitely being turned down. Turned down for what? You're being turned down. Oh, fuck. Being turned down was not something that he enjoyed. I mean, nobody likes to be turned down, but we weren't together no fucking way. You're not pouring into me. You're not giving me anything but dick. And it's not even great dick. I don't even want it. I mean, of course, you're trying to say, well, you're at my house. This is really for your baby. Because if I didn't have her, wouldn't need you. If I didn't have her, nigga, I would still be working. I would be another year in. I would be 3 years in at UP motherfucking ass, bitch. I stopped working when I had your child. So had I not been knocked up with your baby, I would have still been working. Need your ass for what? Huh. Don't worry, bitch, I'll wait. Because see, that's the shit. These niggas love to try you. I don't want to fuck you, nigga. Why can't it just be that? You're not a good dad. Your baby lives with you and you don't spend no time with her. You don't deserve no pussy. How about that? No. Offering us a place to stay because I had your child and I no longer work and you don't want to pay me any money. You don't even want to support me. So, but I'm supporting your child. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 because I'm tired of these niggas. I'm tired of them acting like because they gotta pay some money, they did so fucking much. Children take so much more than money. Oh, but the money is needed. And bitch, you're gonna pay it. If you were a grown-ass man and you just did what we agreed upon in the first place, we never would have had no problems. You would have never got put on papers. But you couldn't even keep an agreement. I really wasn't asking you for shit. Not according to child support. I only wanted half of what they're making you pay, nigga. So there's all of this going on. Inside, I'm fed the fuck up. I can't do it anymore. His dark energy, it was just too much for me. So during this 30-day spiritual journey, she helps me start businesses. She's like, well, what do you like to do? What can you birth? What can you create? And I wrote it down in a notebook. Because it's in this motherfucking notebook. I think it was 5 things. I might have ended up coming up with 10. This is where the name of my website, www.iwasjustcheatedon.com, came from these sessions. Matter of fact, it's on the top of one of these papers too. Let's find that first. So on 5-6, 3 days in, I started on 5-3. On 5-6, because it's dated, she told me to write that down and then go buy the website. And I did just that. With my tax money. Because my tax money is how I kept myself okay throughout the year while not getting no help with my kids. I'm a frugal motherfucker. You might not meet anybody else that buys things the way I buy them, that finds deals the way I buy them. I don't know. I've never been rich like that. I haven't got to that part of my life yet. So I'm very good at 5 businesses. I am very good at getting the things we need with little resources to do it. So she asked me about this on 5/16/2021. Damn, that's my nephew's birthday. May 16th. 5 businesses. Body and hair butter. And I have the body butter. And everybody who tries it loves my shit. I just got a great review yesterday or the day before. It was awesome. Spice line for food and containers. Did that last year too. All of that shit started in May of last year. Because somebody started showing me how to pour into myself and how to love on myself and how to put me first. I wasn't never putting me first. I was always last. Everybody else was first. I did everything for everybody else. Never did shit for me. And I'm still kind of bad at not doing shit for me. I'm getting better. And I'm going to keep getting better. Practice makes better. Practice makes better. Eye pop specialist, brows, shadow, and lashes, because everybody always asks me about my eyes or my eyeshadow, which I don't even wear it anymore. But edibles, which means I might have to move to a state where it's legal or only sell to dispensaries. Either way, I went to culinary school. I know how to make the stuff, so no, culinary school didn't teach me, but they taught me techniques that I know how to boom do the shit. And then I had sing at events, host events, modeling at events, weddings, conferences, conventions, birthdays, anniversaries, because I've got the gift of gab. That's what my mother says. And I can talk to anybody, and I can get anybody to kind of see where I'm coming from, kind of see my point. But I mean, all I'm doing is getting them to mirror how I am. I get their point. I see their point of view. Okay, I understand that. But check this out. That's just how I am. I come across a lot of people who aren't the same. So anywho, the body butter and the seasoning stuck, they are on my website. As previously mentioned, iwasjustcheatedon.com. I had somebody recently ask me, did I do consultations after I talked to them as a friend? I'm good at counseling other people. And I am doing better at counseling myself. So I got all that stuff going, and I started having joy. Like, I started being happy again. I started a garden from little Tupperware containers and those little biodegradable, the little cups. And the garden grew so fast. I used to sit outside and I would play the money music for my garden, and I would talk to my garden. I sang to my garden. I used to go and pet and stroke my garden. Like, my garden became a fourth child for me. I mean, I was outside with the garden so much and doing my nails because I got into all of these dip powders last year. My sister hit me to this, and all my shit is by Rossi. I don't have stuff by other people, but I just did my nails today. Oh, and they glow in the dark. I can't show you though because my room doesn't get dark, but because my salt lamp stays on and my wax, the smell good wax warmer, yeah, it stays on. So my room doesn't get completely dark, but anywho, see, I got goddamn sidetracked again. I was outside so much doing my nails and playing with my garden that I actually got a text one day that was like, damn, you rather play with the garden than play with me? And the answer was, yes, nigga. You don't bring me joy, but this motherfucking garden does. You don't bring me joy, but doing my own nails like I used to when I was a teenager does. I used to do my nails so well when I was 14 that all the bitches around me was copying me and started doing their own fucking nails. Irritated the shit out of me. I swear it irritated the shit out of me. Because I went from being the only teenager with French tip nails to now I'm the bitches up here, guys. It was annoying, but it's cool. And I was in Canada at the time. I was not around, wasn't around people in the States. I was around people who didn't have their own personality and all they did was absorb mine. But that's another story. The happier I became loving on me, finding out about me, the darker he became, the meaner he became. And it was bad. So from May, in 2 months, from, I don't know, like maybe May 12th, 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there. Somewhere in that week. The 10th to like the 16th. I stopped having sex with you. I finally have done enough inner work on me to be able to say no. And saying no is a big deal for me. I won't go off into that. That's a whole nother thing. But saying no is a huge fucking deal for me. And I said no. And I stuck to it. And I stuck to it so well, it made him mad. Mad enough to the point that a couple months in, July 19th, he acted like he, was it the 19th? Oh, let me double check real quick because so much happened in July of last year. It happened 2 Fridays back to back. I believe it was the 9th and the motherfucking 16th. And I'm just, I'm gonna slide it back right quick. Yep. Friday the 9th, Friday the 16th. Friday the 16th, he acted like he was gonna hit me. Like he walked up on me with his fist balled and he was yelling. I walked away. I went from the hallway to the kitchen, and the baby was in the kitchen. And he still, now, I done said something. I said, so nigga, you gonna hit me? Because I won't give you no pussy? Really? That's what we're doing? And he went from doing that to now he's chasing Solo, our cat. And now Jazz is upset because leave my cat alone. So she's screaming and crying. He's yelling and screaming that the baby is traumatized and she's crying. And I'm looking at my kids and I'm like, what the fuck? My kids are not supposed to be, they're not supposed to be having this type of anxiety and stress in their life right now. Like, this is not, I can't do this. We can't go from one volatile home to another. And it was the same nigga in a different body because I didn't do any work on me before I went from one to the other. So my soul, where it was at, still attracted the same type of person, which was an ain't shit nigga who don't give a fuck, because that's how I was. He's an ain't shit bitch that didn't give a fuck. Because why should I give a fuck? It's not going to change anything. And that was my thought process. And you are what you eat. You attract what you are. Like, the situation was so bad that later on that day, the next words out of my mouth was, I would rather go be in a homeless shelter than deal with this. And initially I was talking out of frustration. But then they started giving out those child tax credit payments. They were giving them out, and my 30 days ended at the beginning of June. And I didn't have the money at the time to do another 30 days. But once they started sending those payments, I was able to pay for another 30 days. So I started another 30 days. And our first session, when I'm telling her what's happening, and I actually mentioned the homeless shelter, she was like, so what's stopping you? Why are you not moving in a homeless shelter? And I'm sitting there like, oh, fuck. Ooh, I think I just put my foot in my mouth. But she was dead ass. And mind you, all our sessions are video sessions, so she could see me. So it ain't with videos, it's just a little different because you can see the energy around people. You can see how people's energy shifts as you're having your conversation. And she was really on my ass. And so I started looking into it, because when she said it, I was like, well, I don't know. I thought about it, but then I'm nervous. And the first thing that popped in my head was Tyler Perry's movie where the mama was in that homeless shelter. It was Mr. Good Deeds or some shit like that. Mr. Deeds. And it was men and it was women, and a man tried to grab her baby. Oh God, that was the first thing that popped in my head. But this is the type of shit that we do. We will know that there is a different solution that you can take, because that's even for me. Even my higher self put that in my head, because why am I thinking about going to being in a homeless shelter? Those aren't normal thoughts that I've had. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even have that thought when the last time when I got the eviction notice. It never crossed my mind. That's how I ended up in my fucking baby daddy's house in the first fucking place. Because had it crossed my mind then, I would have did that shit in January of 2021 versus July of 2021. That's a 7-month difference. My life would have been very different in them 7 months, because it didn't take me 7 months to transform my life once I actually went into that shelter. And I went into that shelter, it was like 11:45 p.m. on July 25th, 2021. And it was supposed to be a little bit earlier than that. No, it was the 26th. It was a Monday. We were supposed to go on the 23rd. And I had called around. I had got a storage facility. The only person besides my spiritual coach, the only two people who knew what I was doing, was my brother and his wife. Because since Thanksgiving of 2020, after me and my brother had a real deep conversation, and he heard some stuff that he had never heard before, he was like, we got to make sure we talk more. We can't be having years go by that things happen and nobody in the family knows, you know? So I was keeping my word, because otherwise he wouldn't have known either. And that's just real nigga shit. Because I contemplated moving out to Nevada where they are. But it wasn't going to work out. And it couldn't work out, but you know what? They sent me some money. And that money helped me get a storage facility for most of our things. I couldn't fit everything in there, but I fit most of our things in there. And because of my experience at UPS, I packed that hoe out, just like I was packing a truck, from the bottom to the motherfucking top. And I'm talking about, if you move shit wrong, it was all gonna topple and come down. But I got that shit in there. And so I was scared as fuck. I was scared as fuck, but I knew we couldn't stay in that house no more. I'd be damned if my kids see another nigga violate me, see another nigga yelling and screaming at me, and they think that this is how men are supposed to love on women. Because no, I got girls. This can't be my life. Just like, this cannot be my fucking life. This can't be their life. Oh, I have to make better decisions. If not for me, for them. And so we went in the shelter, and it was actually really nice. I mean, and perhaps the one that was in Conway wasn't a nice facility, because originally we were supposed to be in Conway. So I drove from Bryant, Arkansas to Conway, Arkansas about 4 times, moving things from his house to my storage unit using my 4-door Honda Accord. Wore me the fuck out. I even made a drive from Bryant to Clarksville to bring my garden so that it wouldn't die. That shit died any fucking way. But that's also another motherfucking story. Oh, that one's a funny one. I should really. I'm gonna tell that story. And I'm gonna put the snaps that I made in that motherfucking story. I'm gonna do it. Because try me not, bitch. Sidetracked. Anyways, moved my garden. He wasn't really noticing that things were disappearing. So we were able to get out, and he never saw it coming. So there was no violence. There was no trying to stop me. There was none of that. He didn't know where I was going. Neither one of them did. I didn't tell either one of them anything. But you can't really tell them anything when you're going into a battered women's shelter, because that's where I went. Because the nigga tried to attack me. The fuck? I dealt with one violent man for years. I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. And if me moving into a shelter is not enough to prove that, I don't know what the fuck is. So, Conway gave away my bed. After I moved everything to Conway. Everything. But that keeping positive, this is really a testament to that, because I could have let that defeat me. And then we probably would have ended up not placed nowhere with all this shit in storage, and I'm still stuck in his house. Because everything in Little Rock was full. Everything in Benton was full. Everything in Bryant was full. Which is how the fuck I was going from Bryant to Conway in the first fucking place, which is about a 45-minute drive. Just for Conway to say they're full, and they gave away my bed to somebody else. They gave me the number for a place in Russellville, which is like 45 minutes from Conway. Yep. About an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. Depends on who's driving and how fast. But Russellville had an opening. And in Russellville, we had our own room. Inside that room, it had 3 beds, 2 dressers, a TV, and 2 closets with drawers at the bottom of the closets. And I was so thankful to walk into a place where we actually had our own space. Because any shelter that I've ever seen on TV has like these big spaces that have bunk beds and everybody's shit is all together. Where if you don't have your stuff, somebody can rummage through it and steal your shit. And this place wasn't like that. It had a backyard with a whole playground in it, a big old ass trampoline and shit. It was surprisingly very nice. So all along, I had the wrong concept of homeless shelters, and it could very well be that's just the one that's the only one I've been in. I don't know. You're only allowed to have so many clothes with you. Like that, the crazy part about it for me is with the homeless shelter, it's like they want you to come with nothing. Because if you come with nothing, then you're like dependent on them. Maybe a little bit at their mercy. And I watched other women come in with no clothes. And some people leave situations like that. Like the dudes are violent and they just gotta run when they can. With the clothes that's like on their back and the shoes on their feet. And I know y'all saw the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez. Or even what's that movie with damn, I can't think of her name, but I can see her face. Julia Roberts. Where she faked her death and ran away and the nigga still found her. Violent ass husband. That's some people's real life. I can say that I never had a nigga just beat my ass. I ain't never just been punched on, beat on. But I have been physically assaulted. I mean, hell. Look, there's a... See that bite mark? Mm-hmm. It's a whole bite mark. Physical violence. I was bruised from my elbow to my armpit. Mm-hmm. But that was my ex-husband. The shelter was nice. It was structured. They had a fucking chore chart, which was annoying as hell. I don't mind helping, but I think the thing that really bothered me about staying there was the fact that there was a Hispanic lady who worked there, right? I'm the only black one. When I first got there, there was a black lady there, but she had already got her place and she was about to move in. She wasn't even there for, I think she was there for 2 days. And then she was gone. And I was the only black person there. And not another black person revolved in them doors while I was there. And I didn't leave till September. So, about 7 or 8 weeks I was there. Something like that. It was all white women. Quite a few of them. We had a couple drug addicts. They got put out because they set off the alarm at night. Yeah, it was kind of like jail a little bit though. I'm not even gonna lie. They like locked us in and set alarms, and from 10:30 at night to like 7 a.m. you can't go out the door unless you ask them to cut off the alarm and let you out. There were cameras everywhere except our rooms and the bathroom. This particular Mexican lady would watch the cameras to see if I did the chore that was supposedly assigned to me. And when the very first time, and when I was like, I did do it, she was like, no, you didn't. You didn't do this, you didn't do this, and you didn't do that. And I looked and I was like, how would you know that? And before the black lady left, that was the one thing she did tell me. She was like, you know that Ann sits down and she goes through the video to see what people are doing while she's not here. And while she is here, she sits and watches the video all day to see what you're doing so she can come and be a bitch. She was a bitch. We don't fuck what nobody say. She was a bitch to me. She didn't like me. She didn't like the fact that I was there. I was the only one with a car. Everybody else who came through there came through with nothing. I came through with shit. My kids came through with shit. I kept food in the refrigerator for us. Like, mind you, and they bought food. They even had a grocery list and you could write on it and they would get the things that you wanted. But I didn't even take that shit. I have food stamps. I'll leave that for the people who need it. I'm not here to mooch. I'm just here to get away from niggas who's trying to control my life. And they're trying to control my life by way of these kids and me being able to work and be financially stable while having these kids and watching these kids, because you're financially stable because you don't have to worry about no kid. When did you ever change your job or quit your job for the sake of the child? Only I did that. Every time I had one of my kids, I stopped working for a year, at least. Harmony was the longest. I didn't go to work till she was like 3. And then I didn't even go to work. I went to culinary school. She was 4. I did that in 2009. So the first 4 years of her life, I was with her all day, every day. I sure did. The county was like, well, we'll give you, I was in California, we'll give you $555 a month. And that was enough for me. I didn't have shit but a phone bill. I lived at home with my dad, who has always taken care of home. My dad didn't ask me for rent. He liked the fact that his one and only grandbaby was at the house every day for him to see. Oh, Harmony changed everybody's life. She brought harmony for everybody. When I had her, everybody in my family needed her. And she had a special bond with everybody got their own special bond with that grandbaby and that niece right there. But like I said, I've always been able to make shit work with very little money. I'm not a really materialistic person. Of course, I always like to be cute. And bitch, I'ma always be cute. I'ma always be cute. Do you hear me? Hold on, wait. Hold up, wait. I'ma always be cute. Okay? Okay, like... I don't spend mad money on clothes. I don't need to. My personality is the best currency I have. Because I could be bummy as fuck, but you still don't want to fuck with me because, bitch, I'm fun. You hanging out with me, you gonna laugh all day. I'ma crack jokes all day. So anywho, I got a little sidetracked again. But I'm getting so much better with that. Don't mind my Gemini moon. It be sending me. But I have stayed on track very well in this one here. Back to being in the shelter, that lady tried to break me. She tried her very best to get the nigga to come out of me. And it was frustrating because, lady, I'm just here to get the best for my kids. Without them, I wouldn't have nothing to worry about. Like, I really don't think people understand. I don't give a fuck about sleeping in my car. Like, just me? That's gonna be the shit I do. Child. I'll sleep in my car. Now that I know that P.O. boxes are cheap as fuck, I'll buy me a P.O. box for a motherfucking address. Listen, I have learned some things over the years, but I will do anything for my babies. And Jazz and Rhapsody, it wasn't too rough on them because they're little. But the shelter experience it was a lot for Harmony. And I feel bad because it was doing what was best for me was not what was best for my kid. Like, and her soul chose that experience for whatever reason, but it was hard. It was hard watching my child have mental health issues because of the choice that I had to make to reset our life. So I'm not gonna lie. The lady was trying to push my nigga button, and every week they want you to come sit in their office and talk to them and tell them what you intend on doing, which I find to be like the dumbest shit ever. Cause bitch, I was just here a week ago and ain't shit changed, you motherfucker. Stop it, Rika. Stop it. Do not get to ranting. It's just the emotions. It's just the emotions. It's just the emotions. I don't have a lot of patience for stupid shit. And that lady was stupid. She took her job too motherfucking seriously. And then she would try to act like being a bitch to me was okay, because now I'm going to be nice to your kids. I don't like that shit. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't come all nasty at me and then be nice to my kids. Because now, how am I supposed to be like this bitch and you want to bring blankets and shoes and clothes? And like, well, who the fuck does that? People are weird. I swear for God. But I was trying to find a job, and this particular day I was a little frustrated. And then Harmony comes out of nowhere, and we were talking about her going to school. We had been having a conversation, and it was, I don't know if I want to do high school, like attend. I don't know if I want to do virtual. I don't know if I want to take my GED. But me, I'm the type of mom, I don't give a fuck what you want to do. We just got to make a decision. And I'm not going to make the decision for you, because at the end of the day, this is your life and you have to do things for you. Like, I can't make the choice for you, because what if the choice that I make is not the choice that needed to be made for you? You was just being indecisive and said, I'm just gonna do whatever my mom says. I don't want my kids to be like that. And maybe I don't push enough. Maybe I need to push a little bit more as a mother. I gotta find that balance, because I don't want to be that overbearing parent that just forces shit on my kids. Like, that's not me. I don't like shit forced on me. I try not to do things to my children that I despise, things that I don't like. So we're talking about school, and I'm asking her, it's like, so what do you want to do? Because this is July, and we're coming up on August, and on August school starts. So they weren't enrolled at first, and then the shelter was being a pain in the ass, because, you know, with them, it was like, you know what, you got to get them in school, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ultimately, I went and I went to the Board of Education, and I put them in homeschool under my direction, and that was that. Signed them up, got the paperwork and everything for that. Um, but Harmony was frustrated, and rightfully so. I mean, we were very far away from all of her friends, and she wanted to go to school at Central and Little Rock, and there was no way she could go to Central from where we were at. And I kept trying to say that because she kept bringing it up. We'd be driving and I'd be like, well, I really want to go to Central. Ma'am, we live about an hour and a half from fucking Central. You can't go to Central. And that made her upset. And that particular day, she kind of got upset with me and she took it out on me. And we got into a little bit of an argument, which is so rare. Like, we don't argue. But this particular day, when she snapped at me and was like, you don't even know what you're doing. You don't know what we're going to do. And it hurt my feelings because I was doing everything I knew to do to make life better for them. And no, I don't know what's going to happen. I wish I did. All I can do is take this day by day and keep in my mind that the universe is going to work it out and we're going to be all right. And I got frustrated and my voice got loud and I said, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? You tell me what I should do then, because I don't know what else to do. And she just kind of looked at me and she got up and she stormed off and went back there to our room and she laid in the bed and she laid in the bed all day under the covers. She never got up and ate. Nothing. The next day, stay in the bed all day. She never got up and ate. About 3 or 4, maybe. I went to the back to get her so we could go to the grocery store because a rule of the shelter was that I could not leave my children there. They couldn't be watched by anybody who was not 18 years of age or older. And they highly discouraged you having another resident watch your children while you went to do something. So every time I left, my kids went with me. I went to get Harmony so we could go. Couldn't find her. But the window to our room was open. Had no screen. I go up front, I'm looking, she's not in the kitchen. I go outside, go in the backyard, I go around the side of the house, I don't see her. I finally go and tell the aide who's working that day, or ask them, have you seen Harmony? Because I can't find Harmony anywhere. Because even throughout the house, Harmony could go up front without me, but the other two, they couldn't be wandering or go up front and play in the playroom or go up front and go in the kitchen. They couldn't go anywhere up there without me or without Harmony. Harmony could watch them up front, but only if I was still at the house. So we can't find her. The lady says, well, I'll check the video. And as she's checking the video, we finally see her come out the window and walk off. Then Harmony decided to run away after not eating for 2 days. And I went from being, and initially, I'm not even gonna lie, the first hour, I was pissed. Because why would you do this? Just why? But as it started getting dark and I couldn't find my kid, I started getting scared and worried. And it was like the darker it got, the less upset I was, and the more worried I was that we're not going to find her. And where the hell could she have gone? Where could she have gotten off too far on foot? So we called the police. I reported her missing. And after I did that, I put the other two in the car, and I got in my car, and I drove around and I started looking for her. I had kind of been driving around the city a little bit while we had been there, just seeing different places, and we were going to the lake while we were there. I went to the different playgrounds, the different schools. Her boyfriend eventually called me and was texting me. And ultimately, he is how we found her. Without her boyfriend, I wouldn't have found her. I'm very thankful for him. He talked her into pinning him her address. And me and the police, we have been out driving around different parks and stuff for about 3 hours looking for her. They were actually really nice. I'm always thankful that I end up having peaceful experiences with police officers, because you just fucking never know. I've only had one time where I felt like my life could have possibly been in danger, and that's when I was moving at the end of 2020. Officer walked up on me with his hand on his pistol. But they were really nice when I finally got information from her. We were at a park that we were checking out, because the information that we had up to then from her boyfriend was that she was at a playground. That was like what he knew. So we were just riding around daycares, parks, schools. We was looking at all the damn playgrounds. Anybody who was outside, I was asking them, had they seen her? That shit stressed me the fuck out. And I was already stressed the fuck out. Like, oh my God. When we finally found her, the police went over there with me, and I didn't approach her initially because I wasn't sure how she would react, and I wasn't trying to upset her any more than she already was. They called an ambulance because she had been out all day in a hoodie and sweats, and it was July. It was hot as fuck. It was hot as fuck. No, it wasn't July. It was August, but it was hot as fuck. And they cleared her and said they didn't need to take her to the emergency room. She was fine, perhaps a little dehydrated. I had water, they had water. It was like 11 o'clock at night, past our curfew, but I let them know that I had found her. She hadn't ate. I was taking her to get some food before we came back to the shelter. next few days were a little crazy for me, but then we were okay for a minute. I started working. My job was in Clarksville, however, which is like 20 minutes from Russellville. Now, I started my job August 16th, 2021. And I got the job through somebody that I knew. And the way I saw it, even at that point, I was like, there's no way I would have been able to do this from Conway. And it's like I was being set up every step of the way. It was already set up. It was already going through. It was like every time the lady at the shelter was trying to give me grief about something, Spirit worked something else out. So I had a job. They couldn't say anything to me. I needed a job to get housing. I needed a job to be able to stay at the shelter as well. Shelters are almost like halfway houses. You're a little bit better off because you're more than likely not a criminal who's going to have a hard time getting a job or anything like that. So it was rigid, but that experience helped me learn to control my temper a little bit more. Because if I popped off on that bitch for being rude, the next thing for me might be, you got to get out the shelter. And then what the fuck am I going to do? So I had to bite my tongue a lot. I had to just let her be a bitch a lot. Even though I really wanted to tell her about her motherfucking ass and why are you being hard on the only minority here while you're nice to these nasty ass white bitches who don't do their chores and you don't say nothing to them. You don't say nothing. But let me not do it. And here you go talking about it's going to be a problem and you're going to have to leave because you can't follow the rules. But if you're not going to stick it to everybody, I'm finna find your supervisor and have him stick it to you. You can't be in here being impartial to people. And I'm the only motherfucker who in this bitch working. I'm the only one who's in here doing the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing, and you're giving me grief? Where they do that at? I mean, to be a racist motherfucker has got to be tiring. I don't get tired of hating on people just because their skin is different than yours. Anyways, we were cool. I was going to work. And yes, my kids were going to work with me. It worked out. There was empty space for them to be able to sit and chill while I worked. And after a few days, the person I got the job through was letting them, she lived around the corner, she was letting them chill at her house while I worked. I dropped them off over there, go to work, and then go pick them up, and then we head back to the shelter. And that was working okay for a while, and then I think the routine, it just got to be too much for Harmony. Because we was having to get up early every day. I had to be at work by 9. And it was a half an hour ride. It was really 20 minutes, but, you know, dropping them off, getting everything straight, and me still not being late, I needed about 30, 40 minutes. So, I don't know. that shelter made my baby lose it. Harmony just snapped. She had enough. It was too much. We didn't have our own space. We were sharing a room. So anytime Rhapsody cried and woke up at night, she woke her up. We weren't having that problem before. It was just too much. And I know that. It was a lot to ask of a 16-year-old child. And so we did some I don't know. This one particular day, she picked up my cell phone and she called 911 and she told them that they needed to come get her. She needed help. And I told them I would take her to the hospital. They didn't need to come get her. And when I took her, those suicidal questions that they ask you, Harmony gave them every answer to make them commit you that she could. And I was sitting there like, because I had no idea. I didn't know it was affecting her that bad. So the doctor's kind of looking at me like, ma'am, the fuck you want me to do? You asking her the question, she answering. What the fuck you want me to say? Like, so they didn't take those answers seriously. And that bothered Harmony. Harmony felt like I've said everything I need to say for you to get some people to help me, not send me back out in the waiting room. We went back out in the waiting room and it just, she ended up committed that night. I spent the whole night in the hospital with the other kids in tow. It was horrible. And those people, they had us sitting in chairs. They didn't bring a bed until after we had been there for 6 hours. And I went out and I said, I'm leaving. My back is hurting. I'm sitting in this chair. I have 2 sleeping children who cannot get comfortable. And y'all just got me sitting here. Y'all haven't told me anything. Y'all haven't found nowhere. Oh, well, ma'am, it's a long process. I said, okay. And if you knew that, so y'all didn't even offer a bed. We're in here sitting in chairs. Like, Jazz was on her knees with her face laying on the butt of the chair. Rhapsody couldn't get comfortable. She didn't go to sleep till 3 a.m. 2 a.m. They didn't bring me something to lay down on until 3 a.m. They wheeled another bed in for us to be able to lay down. And it was really like another stretcher. So we took the stretcher and I put Jazz on one end and I went on the other end and I laid the baby on my chest and we laid there. Ugh, low battery. Hold on. Let me get my charger. Ooh, it might not be long enough. Is this an iPhone? My shit is short. Okay, let me try this. I don't need the problem. Damn, I don't even know what's the last thing I just said. So, center myself again. The hospital was shitty. And I feel like had I been a European mother who showed up in there with my child having mental health issues, that situation would have went a whole lot different. But because I was a Black mother who showed up with a child who was having issues, we were treated very differently. And that's a whole nother story as well. So, I called my brother to let him know what had happened because my brother, again, they were the only people I was talking to about this situation. And once they found out Harmony was in the hospital, they called our parents, which I'm still a little bothered by, but it is what it is. And the next thing I know, my parents are on their way out to Arkansas and they haven't even talked to me. But it's whatever because I am overwhelmed. Over fucking whelmed. There's so much going on. I still gotta go to work. My kid is now in a mental health facility. I had to watch my kid be drugged and tied to a bed. And all while we're in a shelter. It was too much. And I kind of, in the back of my head, knew that my parents were coming to get my kids. So instead of saying anything about it or being upset with them for not, like, you're not even gonna talk to me, like, you're not even gonna ask me, like, come on, damn, we still on that? I was just like, it is what it is. So they got out here. They got a hotel. The behavioral center released my child. And when they released her, we got the prescription that day. We spent one night, and the very next day, I already knew it couldn't be done. Harmony came back, and she was all over the place. She was walking out of the facility, and it was just too much. And I was like, she can't be doing that. They're gonna kick me out. Like, what the? So I called my mom to let her know what was going on. And my mom was like, well, look, me and your dad discussed it. And we'll take the girls. And that's why I didn't do this yesterday. I didn't want to cry. And I know I was going to fucking cry. We'll take the girls until you get your place and you get everything settled, and then we'll bring them back. And as much as I wanted to say no, I had to let them take them because there was no way I could give Harmony the care that she needed and the attention that she needed, and to the baby and Jazz and work and try to find a place to live. It was too fucking much. It was too. packed up their stuff that they had. I packed them in the back seat. And I stood there crying while I watched them drive off with my kids that at the moment I couldn't take care of. And I felt like such a piece of shit. Like, I'm the one consistent thing that they have. And now I'm not consistent. Like, so now they were gone. And I didn't want to be in that shelter a minute longer. That was, shit, I think September 18th, 19th. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was September 19th. And it was early. They left around like 9, 10 a.m. I then rented me, a U-Haul van. And I took the remaining things that we had to storage. And I called the homie that helped me get the job. And I asked her, could I sleep on her couch until I found me a house for me and my kids? Because I just couldn't take the shelter and the white ladies no more. They were driving me. Them white ladies in that shelter was so fucking nasty. And I have video, ocular proof of that shit too. They leave hair in the sink, hair in the toilet, hair and toothpaste in the shower, dirt all around the sink. And when it was a couple weeks before I left, there was a lady who moved in that had another child. And up until that point, the family bathroom, nobody was in it but me and my kids, because everybody else that was there didn't have kids. They had a bathroom for single women, and they had a bathroom for mothers who have kids. And they're across the hall from each other. So now we're sharing a bathroom. Up until then, I was the only one cleaning it. Cool. But now, every other week, it's going to switch. And you're going to have to clean it. The bitch was not cleaning the bathroom. But that little Mexican whore that I was telling y'all about, that always was down my throat for shit, didn't have nothing to say to her. Nothing. I don't see you going behind her checking the bathroom. Why you not talking about her not spraying down the counters and wiping them off? Like, you was on my ass. And I just couldn't take it. I was about to snap. I was about to lose my shit. I was in there one morning getting ready for work, and this lady had a son. So because you have a boy, you can't bring your ass in this bathroom because it's a communal bathroom. And I have to step out of the shower into an open space with a shower and a tub, a shower, and then 2 toilets. Then on the other side over there, there's 2 sinks. She's trying to be all upset. Well, he has to go to school. And then, bitch, you should have got up earlier. Just because you want to walk in here and bathe in the sink with 5 minutes before you're supposed to drop him off. Bitch, that's not my problem. I have to go to work, and I'm not being late for you or him. Give a fuck. Then they're trying to tell me, well, when you're in the bathroom, you need to move a little faster. I said I was in the bathroom for half an hour. You can kiss my ass. That's not too long for taking a shower, doing my eyeshadow, putting on my clothes, and getting myself together for work. Especially now when, bitch, I normally take a half an hour shower by itself. I'm a fucking Pisces. I like water. You better kiss my ass and be glad I got out this bathroom in 30 minutes, bitch. That is fast for me. fuck is you talking to? Just because y'all jump in the shower and say you clean after 2 minutes of the water hitting your goddamn skin. I need my skin to moisten up and get a little soft before I even attempt to wash up. The only time I take a shower that fast is, bitch, I'm running super late and I have to make sure that I am ain't nobody dope as me. I'm just so fresh, so clean. Yeah. I couldn't do it. Them bitches was nasty. They would put meat that they opened in the refrigerator. Just in the refrigerator. Oh, she wrapped it in a napkin. It was open, bloody, bleeding. Mind you, I don't eat that shit. But you got this shit on the same shelf as my fruit. And I know you fucking lying. Where's the plastic bag? Plate? Saran wrap? Foil? Bitch, a motherfucking paper towel. And had the nerve when I asked, can you please clean this up? Well, I put a paper towel on it. I'll chop you in your goddamn throat. It was too much. It was too much. It was too much. I couldn't take it. So, that was that. She told me, yeah, I rented that van. I drove my ass from Russellville to Conway in that U-Haul van. Packed some shit in. Took a few things out. Drove that shit back to Russellville. Walked back from the U-Haul to the house. That was like 2 miles. And then I called a taxi to take me from, because there is no Uber or Lyft out here in the fucking boonies. Because I was gonna Lyft, but there's no fucking driver. Anyhow, I found a taxi. Taxi took me from Russellville to Clarksville. And there, I slept on a couch from September the 19th until I got my apartment about 6 weeks later. Yeah, it took a second. It took a second. But it worked out. I will not go into details of sleeping on the couch, but I did sleep on the couch. And that bitch can't shame me for that either. Yep. I was in a homeless shelter, and then I slept on a couch. And now I'm in my own shit. In my house. Like, you know what? Fuck it. And I'm gonna give you a tour of my house. I'm in my shit. If you pay attention to the videos as of late, they're in my bathroom or they're in my kitchen. Today, I'm sitting in my room right in front of my closet. Because I got a walk-in closet. Yeah, baby, yeah. I love it. I am no longer homeless. I have not been homeless in almost a year. I was homeless by choice, not force. Because you know how people like to talk. I chose to go into the shelter, and it was the best motherfucking decision that I ever fucking made. Because it put me on my own 2 feet. And I had somebody get me together. I had that same spiritual coach. She got my ass together for not having these niggas on child support. And that's a whole nother story too. But I'm not gonna give that any light. Not yet. Not yet. The same way I didn't talk about this while it was going on. Nobody knew. It's over now. I can give you my testimony because the test is over. But had I talked about this while it was going on, had I complained about this and kept telling this story and complaining about this, kept telling this story and complaining about this, I would still be in a very, very bad, poor situation. But because I decided it's okay. It's okay. It's gonna get better. One other thing I should let me get better clips there. Should mention my handy dandy Moldavite, because when I got this stone right here, 2 weeks after I got this crystal right here, I got my place. Yep. 2 weeks. Moldavite is a very strong and powerful stone that can elevate your life, but you need to be ready for it. For me, I was already homeless. How much worse could it fucking get? I was already homeless. My children were already living somewhere separate from me. So how could me buying a Moldavite tear my life down to bring it back up? It wasn't going to tear it down to bring it back up. It was already tore the fuck down. So it just started. And we're still on the up. I love this motherfucker. I do not take it off. When I take it off, I can feel the energy leave, and I feel naked. Naked as fuck. No. I don't like feeling naked. I like this, right? And when I first got it, it synced to my heart while I was singing. I could feel it doing this. I had to pause singing because for a second it was hard for me to catch my breath. So I highly recommend Moldavite. I highly recommend a positive motherfucking attitude. Positive. And while I've been sitting here, like I just finished my fucking nails. Just finished. And I just popped this shit off. Like, what the fuck? And yes, that's my nail. And yeah, I'm finna put this right back on. Mm-hmm. Damn, the butterfly had to, like, fuck, man. Seriously. I didn't cap it enough, but that's okay. I'm not a perfect nail dipper, but it's good enough for me. And I don't have any fake nails on. These are mine. Even the little short ones, they're broke on me. Hopefully they won't break anymore because this hand is doing way better, as you can see. I'm right-handed though. How else all my left nails breaking? Anywho. So that is my shelter experience. Do it scared. Do it fucking scared. Don't quit. Don't give up. And I know it's somebody's out here who are contemplating what to do, don't have an idea, who have had homeless shelter mentioned to them, and I was like, nah, not me. Don't let pride or ego stop you from elevating your life. I elevated my life by moving into a homeless shelter. Because here's the thing. you now have them to help you. You are now attaching that shelter's name to your name. So take housing, for instance. When the lady called, she could talk and verify, and she also had a letter that had been written up and signed that said, yes, she is here with those children and they are in need of shelter. That's a whole lot different than you just saying, I don't have nowhere to live, I need help. Life is better with help. So if moving into a homeless shelter is something that you need to do, or if it's something that now you're like, damn, I never even thought about that. Let me look into it. Research it. Call around. They answer the phone. They answer questions. They let you know if you qualify, like, before you even have to fill out any paperwork or anything. They ask you questions over the phone. And then there's commitments and a couple obligations that you have to complete for receiving their help, but no biggie. Reciprocity. You scratch their back, they scratch yours. So I know I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch this back, and then I'm going to be hesitant about posting it, but maybe I'll post it and then watch it back, because do it scared. That's what I have to do. I have to post this scared, because what does it matter? It happened. Like, I really lived this out. And there are people who could be like, yeah, I saw the shelter. Oh, because I didn't even tell you. My radiator blew while Harmony was in that facility. I was on my way to go see her. My radiator blew and I had to leave my car in motherfucking Conway. I didn't make it to my mail where she was. No, it was Conway, but I didn't make it to her and had to leave my car. Anyway, a lot happened. A lot happened. When my radiator got fixed, my car got fixed, I was back on the road. You gotta stay positive. You gotta stay positive. Because if you're not positive, then the universe can't bring you positivity. It can only bring you the vibration that you're sending out. It's a boomerang. You send it out, they send it back. You send it out, they send it back. You're emitting negativity, that's what you're gonna get back. People ask me, are you happy all the time? Yes, bitch. Yes, the fuck I am. Yes, I cry. Y'all just saw me cry. And now I'm back to it is what it is. But I am here. I am stronger. There's new love in my life. And oh my God. That's great. I am loving that. I'm just ready to keep growing and keep learning and keep sharing my experiences, because I know that being open and transparent can really, really help some other people out here who feel like they catch all the bad luck or feel like this never happens to nobody else. You'd be surprised. When you start telling a story, how many people be like, oh my God, me damn too. Or, oh, I went through something so similar. Damn, I wish I had known that. Or, shit, look at you coming through right when I'm going through this situation and I needed some advice. You never know who you're going to help by simply talking about how you got through something, overcame something, defeated some shit. So, with that being said, I love y'all. Go love on yourself. And if you have an overflow of that love on somebody else. Love on somebody else. Everybody needs love.